Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, and today we are here in the Crypt Spire at the top of it, and we have the famous duo Bladebearer and Cannoneer to take out, and I want to kind of work through it with you, but I'm going to narrate everything that I'm doing offline because this does take some concentration to actually get correct. But if you happen to have a couple of blood blends, ichor blends, then you should be able to pull this off, and if you have DLC as well, you should be able to pull this off, all things considered. Now, as this is a completely co-op type setup here, we will be exploring the idea of switching codes in mid-fight, so keep that in mind, and I'll kind of talk through the rest of it with you. But I need to kind of concentrate, so these will be kind of disjointed voiceovers here, but for right now, just go ahead and sit back, enjoy the show, and I will see you at the end of this fight, especially because there is a lot of switching going on and a lot of dodging and a lot of things to take my mind. But the idea will be one radiant barrel, a reload, and then another radiant barrel, and a switch of blood codes, and then right back into it. Use your blood blends, and then you're right back up on top, probably a pure blood as well. Then you're right back up on top to shoot, and then get all of your what you have to do is you have to shoot, and then you get all of your gifts back up and running, and then you go through the routine again: shoot, reload, and then shoot, and then that should take care of both the Bladebearer and Cannoneer. However, if you are running a co-op build, remember they do have 50% more HP than what they do here on this difficulty. So if you are running co-op, if both of you are running this co-op setup here, then you will absolutely annihilate them very, very quickly. And you'll notice that we don't have Merciless Reaper here for the Bladebearer first, because she has a 0% resist to pierce and 0% resist to blood. So Radiant Barrel will do wonders against her. For the Cannoneer, he does have a 20% resist to blood, and so that will and a 25% resist to pierce, so it will do significantly less versus him, which is where the co-op Radiant Barrel spam will come in significantly much more beneficial versus him than running a co-op build here, as you can see. So okay, I'll sign off for now, and then you will get to witness this in firsthand. Here we go. Most of what this fight actually comes down to is RNG, with how the Cannoneer decides to do his attacks, where he runs, if he runs, whether he decides to do double fireballs back to back, whether he decides to do flame pools back to back, whether he decides to do continuous attacks on Jack and kill him outright. And there is so much RNG that goes into how the Cannoneer decides to behave, that it's in your best interest to just give it a couple of tries and figure out some of his patterns, get him locked in, and then you can see how we decide to take care of him here. The reality is of the order is that it's supposed to go shoot, reload, shoot, gain ichor from Field of Thirst, switch blood codes, redo all the gifts, shoot, reload, shoot, get ichor, and then a couple of shots from the bayonet with Jack active. That's the tall order that we are going for here. Whether or not you actually get it, that remains to be seen. Since basically the bulk of our damage comes from Jack with Fatal Surge, you'll notice that keeping him alive is quite the challenge. He's typically dead during his dodges because of the staggered nature of the duo. Well, and that's how it can fail immediately. But we were able to make it through that first set of requirements pretty easily. So, okay, let's give it another try. And there goes Jack before we had a chance to actually get our Fatal Surge going. Typical Jack. Well, let's go ahead and reset that one, because, yeah, Jack dying is not supposed to happen, because we were supposed to be able to get another Fatal Surge going. So that's kind of the problem here that we have, is that we don't have any way to keep Jack alive, but we'll try it again, and we'll see how it goes. Hey Jack, this is up to you. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. Okay, well, so you can see how this operates and how this works. It is very, 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 like, technically suggestive of getting everything correct. Now, if you are able to get the first shot on the Cannoneer, and then and have the Bladebearer pass in front of the shot, you're able to ruin her before, and that way you can have everything happen how it's supposed to with the Cannoneer afterwards. But it's like really, really technically challenging. So and we don't have like infinite blood blends here, so we'll have to keep an eye on those as well. Okay, let's go ahead and try this again, and you can see the damage difference because of the Cannoneer having resistance to blood and pierce all at the same time. So, okay, let's try this again, and hopefully we can do it the right way. And this is a failed attempt because she got her shield up because I was not fast enough with the casts of Radiant Barrel and Disremember. So one of my entire shots got completely nullified down to 0 damage. Great. We weren't able to actually take her out with that second Radiant Barrel. Unfortunate, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Okay. We may have to buy a few more blood blends, but that's completely fine. Okay. I need a blood blend. I need this. Oh, Jack. Why? That last run was starting out so well, and everything was going according to plan. But again, if you can't keep Jack alive, and you can't have Fatal Surge going for that second transition point when you switch back to Harmonia from Queen's Claw, then you're definitely not going to have the damage available to take down the Cannoneer, because you need to take him down quickly because everything is on a timer, and the longer you wait, the worse it gets. So you have to kill him quickly, and that's why Jack dying completely nullifies this entire attempt. This time I don't actually care if Jack dies or not during this second attempt here, as you see, because we already have Fatal Surge running, so that means that we already have the double damage available to us. We don't have to wait for Jack to do anything. He does draw aggro, but that is not important. What we need out of him is the damage from Fatal Surge, so it's completely fine if he dies. There we go. Now that is how it should sort of mostly go, because you have Fatal Surge active towards the end. And that is where the majority of the override of the resistances and damage comes from, is from the fact that you are running, you're running in an extremely high level of damage from Fatal Surge. So anyways, finally we got a fairly decent one there at the end, but all things considered, if you run this as a co-op setup, it becomes even more ridiculous because of Disremember turning into 0 recast, and you'll see here you need a Vitality and Fortitude. So instead of something like Mind and Willpower up or having Overdrive, you can just go for Vigorous Zeal and switch that up, and you can get having Radiant Barrel Spam back to back, and the boss quickly disappears right in front of us. Okay, so for the second setup here, we will need, which one is it? This one. We will be going for a very different, odd sort of scenario here, but we will still need the Ichor blends in order to get Fatal Surge running at the beginning, and to have enough Ichor and everything active to get our gifts going. So here what we're going to be having, we are going to have charge boosters, we will be having a slow, and then we will have our Ichor blends here. And the thing is that this part of the run here with Mido, we will use Mind and Willpower up at the beginning, and then we will switch this to debuff buildup as soon as Bridge to Glory and Time Crunch are active. So here with what we have going, we will try and get as much of it going as possible before the fight even starts, but there's no guarantee with how everything runs if we can actually make it to the point of actually using what we need to. Okay, so this will be kind of a test of willpower here to see if we can get through it. But if everything goes how we think it should here, let's see, 14, I need one more. Okay, and then this for Time Crunch, this, and then this for debuff buildup. Good. Okay, and then we will get the what is that? The charge booster going. Okay. Ouch, we're dead. Thanks, Jack. I did not get the appropriate attacks there that I wanted. Okay. Well, but you can see that even though we take 2 swipes at him, usually the first run is really bad, just because of his positioning and how he actually is on the battlefield. Now the second turn here will be exceptionally increased in our ability here to actually execute correctly, because of how he's positioned and how he doesn't do anything until he turns around. So let's see if we can get this going again here, and if I can even get my mouse to go on the right position here. Okay, now this is a very fun sort of a kill here that you can get on Mido, just because of how he operates, because slowing him down is kind of tricky, because then all of a sudden you might not know his reaction times and such. So it is very intriguing here, all things considered. Alright, and we are set and ready. Good, go. And let's pick up our haze. Ouch, we're dead. Jack, please. Nope. Okay, so we didn't quite get the slow on him before the engagement started. and that is really unfortunate. Whoops, because if you can get the slow going on him immediately, then you are in for a real treat to dodge around the backside and everything, and you will be able to operate effectively as you would need. Okay, and as you can see, we're running low on blends here, which is completely fine, but we will make it work, and we will get this kill here as we go along, because it's quite exciting and very, very, very excellent if you can get it to work the way it's supposed to, because you have a very, very, very high damage multiplier on the sword itself, so making use of that is exceptional. Okay, and one more, and then one more. Good. And then time crunch. Okay, this, and it works better when you can scroll correctly between the items here. Okay, and slow. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's how it's supposed to work. Because if you get him into stagger state, the slow lengthens the amount of time by the time he is down by like 50% or something like that. So you get an incredibly increased amount of time. It might be 100%. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't timed it, but the amount of time that he's down is exceptionally significant. And the awesome thing is that you can constantly charge attack while he's down in such a very short amount of time, because you have charge accelerator, time crunch, and charge booster active. And as you can see, when you change to debuff buildup, you don't have access to bridge to glory or time crunch anymore. And for that matter, you can't use blood sacrifice because you need a willpower of B or of C, sorry. And because we have a D+, we can't get access to these, and you need a B+ in mind for bridge to glory, and you need a C willpower for time crunch. So we get access to all of those because of mind and willpower up, but then as soon as we switch out of it, even though they're active, they stay active, and that's really, really good for us. So anyways, this is a great fun way, and if you can imagine 2 people doing this, you have 2 co-op partners running in here and charging him down, you can charge him down much, much, much faster. However, he does have around 170,000 HP when you are playing with co-op, but the reality is that because you have double the amount of charge attacks going off, he will build up slow and poison much faster, and he will begin to take that poison damage all the way through the fight, even through his stagger point and everything. So, yeah, this is a bizarre way to go about getting through Mido and the duo, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and sorry for all the deaths on the Bladebearer and Cannoneer, but you know, sometimes they just don't behave how you want them to, and you have to play a couple times just to get that one excellent, perfect kind of build setup that happens to go off. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow in episode 602. Can you believe it? We're that far in the road to 100. And you guys take care, and thank you everyone for watching and all the support and everything that you guys are giving. It really makes doing this worthwhile. So thank you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.